Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to build the Maximera IKEA drawer for the section unit. So this specific drawer is a 24 by 17 3/4. So it's designed to go underneath a sink cabinet. So I'm also using the Utrusta drawer front. So this is a drawer front that goes inside the cabinet. I'm going to show you over here inside my bathroom where I'm using these kitchen cabinets. So over here is the vanity that I am building using the section cabinets. So let me just zoom out a little so you can see it. So over here it's the section cabinets with a custom quartz countertop. I used a standard vanity sink. I did not use the IKEA ones. So over here I already installed the side drawers, and if you are doing this, watch your frame, make sure you design it that it doesn't hit it. You can see I measure everything super exact. And then over here are the doors. So this is a 24-inch base cabinet. That's the small size to fit like a standard sink usually. And then inside I am putting that drawer that I'm about to build. Over here are two 12 by 30 doors, and over here is the plumbing. So you notice this is a little different than usual. I had the plumber put the trap in the back, and I told him to keep this as high as possible. It could really go about an inch higher, but I didn't really need it. Well, not really an inch higher because you got the stopper there. So if you're putting that type of stopper, you really can't go higher. But if you're doing like a push-up stopper, you could go about an inch higher, potentially. But either way, this is enough. You'll see how precise I get it at the end. Notice how the hinges are over here. So the drawer doesn't sit on the bottom of the cabinet. It's going to come right above over here. And this is a little trial and error, to figure out exactly where it goes in order for it to fit right. And you'll see it's going to drop right below that P-trap, and it's going to come right in front of the, it's going to come right below this pipe and right in front of this. This is a standard section cabinet, but I did cut off 2 inches off the back of the cabinet because if you look at these drawers, you can't really see from here, but the drawer really has 2 inches of space in the back. So I wanted to make it a little shallower depth, similar to a kitchen cabinet, similar to a bathroom cabinet vanity instead of a kitchen cabinet. So that's why I cut off the 2 inches to make it, instead of a 24-inch depth, to 22-inch depth. And plus your countertop goes over a little, so it really gets to 23 by the time you're done everything. So let's go on to build it, and we're going to see how it goes right in here. And don't forget the 135-degree hinges over here to make sure you got ample clearance for that drawer to get in and out. So here we go. So start by opening up the box and laying everything out. Make sure you got all the parts. And then the first step is going to take these side rails. I'm going to take this back piece and the other side rail. This part with the groove will face towards you like this, and then you just pop these together. You just line it up and then push it in. I kind of need 2 hands for it, so I'm just gonna pop it in and I'll show you the next step. So you just push those in on both sides, and then you'll have these two like this, and then you'll take this drawer, this shelf, the bottom of the drawer, and you'll slide it in. When you slide it in, one front is finished, the other part is unfinished. The unfinished part always goes to the back, and these grooves are going to go on the bottom. So you'll turn it this way, like that, and then you just line it up on here, and you'll just push it all the way in until the end. So once it's pushed all the way in, you'll see it should be flush on both sides, and it's going to be sitting in that groove that we mentioned before. And this is how it'll look over here. So this is a high drawer, and it's only 17 3/4 inch deep instead of the standard 24-inch depth, in order to leave room for that plumbing in the back. So after you have this part, you're gonna see there's you could really follow the instructions. That's probably the easiest thing to do. We'll just open it up so you can see. But then afterwards, I'm gonna just really skip to just showing you how to do it. So this is showing you how to click at each end, and then pay attention to these drawers, because what's gonna happen is, depending on where you're installing it, if it's a bottom drawer, higher drawer, etc. There's different configurations, if it's internal drawer, external. So these instructions aren't actually the best. This is very confusing. This instruction, if you see over here, this is for really for a drawer that is a drawer front. It is not for the Utrusta one. So we're just gonna flip through this. We're really gonna ignore these instructions. We're just gonna go right ahead and install it. So let's start by opening up the bag, this part first, and we're gonna open up this drawer front. So we're going to take these two pieces and we're gonna line it up. They got one hole over here and one hole over there, exactly like that. And then you take these 4 big screws and you're gonna put them in right over here and right on top. So this changes based on what type of drawer and the height. For my specific situation, this is where it's gonna be. So we're gonna screw this in and then show you the next step. So over here we got both of these screwed in. Now we're going to take this part right here. We're going to put them up here and up here. So we're going to screw these two in. That's again using these big screws, like the same as the ones over here. We put it in this hole and this hole, not in this one. Same thing over here and over here. Now this drawer is basically, this drawer front is ready to go, and it goes directly on top of this drawer, and you line up the two parts and then it just pops right into place like that. So here's your drawer basically, and now the next step is take these pieces. I'm going to turn over here so you can see it. Goes like that, it just sits right there. Same thing for the opposite side, it just sits right over there. Now we take these small pieces, and that goes in the hole right over here. It's a little hard to push these in, so get something flat or something to push it in. Could be anything, could be the front of a tape measure, just to pop that in flush. And then you'll do the same thing for the opposite side. See that hole, put it right above it, grab the front of my tape measure and push it in. So once those two parts are in, we're going to take these pieces. This is the rail. We just clip it in on that end, and you put it on this end, and it just pops in, and then you slide this cover over. We're going to do the same thing on the opposite end. This is just going to clip in right here. It's going to slide in over here, and we slide that over there. Now on the bottom are two more screws that we have to, a few more screws that we have to put in. So number one is one over here. So that is this long screw. This one goes here, and let me do that one, and then we'll go to the next step. Okay, now that one's in, I'm going to lay it down again nicely. And we take this piece, see it's got a hole over here and two holes over here. This one should go center in that, in that drawer front. So it doesn't have to be exactly center, but I like just grabbing a tape measure, making sure it is on the center line. So, there's a 24-inch drawer front. I just move it to the 12-inch line. And then we take the small screws, So these over here, we're gonna put one in each hole over here, and then one over here. I like doing these two first, and then that one over there. Depending on the drawer front, different configurations. Some of these can be deeper, some other places. That's why it doesn't have pre-drilled holes, because depending on what configuration you're doing, where these holes end up being. So actually, this is a internal drawer front, so this is only 22 inches. So we're gonna put that right there, 11-inch on center. We put the two screws over here, and the third one there. And that is the drawer. And this is a high drawer, so you see it's got the rail on top. The medium drawer will have it over here, this bar, and this back part will be lower. And the short drawers are just this height, and this ends around over here. Now we're going to take these rails. So these rails are slightly different than the 24-inch ones. The 24-inch has a slow close mechanism in the back that you have to pop on. The 17 3/4-inch deep ones come with it already installed. So these are ready to be installed in the section frames. So when using a drill bit, I always recommend using one that's magnetic, because these screws, if you put them here, right, you see how it sticks, and that makes it much easier to put it through these holes and screw it in, because a lot of times when you use a regular bit, they're just going to fall into this track, and they're annoying to keep pulling out of there, because it's just hard to get in that groove. But the magnetic bits, you just put it in there and slide it over a little and then start. It makes it much easier to not keep losing your screws. So even though on the rest of the installation I use this bit, since it's a little smaller and easier to use, when it comes to installing the actual rails, I always switch it to the magnetic bit, because that makes it goes much quicker. I don't keep losing my screws. So over here I just installed this one. So let me show you how this is different than a standard drawer that has a drawer front. So see where this rail is. You install the screw in this top center hole, and this rail ends over here, right? So it doesn't go all the way to the front. Whereas in a regular, when you do a drawer front like this, the rail, it's hard to see over here, but it comes all the way to the front, and we use the screw holes over here, usually the bottom two when you're starting the bottom, but you'll see exactly the instructions. They'll tell you which holes to use. And then after we install these, then it comes with a couple small screws that you're going to put in on the opposite ends to give it a little more stability. And over here again, the same thing. So this, see how it can't go on the bottom? It's going to hit that hinge. So instead, it's got to go over here, and you can either read the instructions, or you can just think about it logically, right? If it goes over here, it's not going to fit that drawer front, right? So because we're doing the internal drawer front, we got to slide it to over here. This is that first spot that will work for that Utrusta drawer front. So we're going to put it right here, and we're going to put the screw right in that center hole. So after we installed these two screws, so now we have four screws. Sorry, got blurry for a second. We got all four screws installed. Notice there's going to be two extra ones, because the two extra is when you're using the front, back, and back centered one for when you're using a regular drawer front. But when we're using the Utrusta internal drawer front, we're going to end up having extra screws. Sorry, why is it getting blurry here? Get focused. Okay, here we go. So here's those rails. Now we're going to get those small screws and put them in the front and back of there to give a little extra support, and then we're going to be ready to install our drawer front. So over here you can see I added the extra screw on either side, and over here, and now we're going to be ready to install the actual drawer front and see if it actually fits like the way we planned it to fit. So there are a couple adjustments you could do over here, and it's got covers that pop on once you're done making your adjustments. They just pop on like that. Assuming everything is how you want it, we'll just pop them on for now. It also comes with these pieces that you put where you need it, so it doesn't bump when it's opening and closing. So we're going to pick up this drawer. And we're gonna walk into our bathroom, and we're just gonna put it slowly right down, and you see how it hear that clicking sound as it locks into place. Now we're going to test it, and you see how it pulls out all the way, and it's got that soft close feature, and it goes in right there. And you see how that plumbing, even by cutting my cabinet down 2 inches, right, the 17 3/4 inch, if you're using a standard 1.5 inch drain pipe, it still gives you a good, I don't know, maybe 1/4 inch of space there. And plus you got another couple inches of space on top here. So it really fits nicely like a glove. And it's got a gap on the bottom, which is great. You know, use the space. You know, it'd be nice if it could get to the bottom, but because of the hinges, there's no way to do that really. But this way it maximizes what you could keep underneath your sink drawer, your sink, and you could put a lot of cleaning supplies, towels, tissues, whatever you need. Here are the doors. Okay, so this is how it looks. So this is my custom-made vanity using IKEA Section cabinets. So just once again, it's we cut 2 inches, exactly 2 inches off the back, and we did standard 24-inch depth drawers over here. So this is a 15-inch wide and then 24-inch wide section cabinet next to each other, and then we got the 3 drawers here. You can obviously configure these however you want, just like the kitchen ones. You know, you could do 5s, 10s, 15s, etc. And then they all line out really nicely. And the inside, these are 12 by 30 doors, and then this internal drawer front. I thought about doing different configurations. With the 12-inch high doors, you can't do 20 inches high, so you can't really put a cover panel and 2 lower doors. Yeah, I just thought this was the best use of space. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. I did this custom vanity in all the bathrooms in my house. Different configurations depending on the width of the bathroom. So I have 24 24s next to each other. I have 30 and 24s. You know, I did a bunch of different ones in all the bathrooms. So I got 4 bathrooms that I made these custom vanities with. It's not necessarily cheaper than buying a pre-made vanity, but this is way better quality than the stuff you're usually buying, and you can configure it exactly to your needs. You know, if you wanted, you could put these, you know, 5-inch drawers, 10-inch, 15s, really whatever you need. You know, and you can use the different God Morgan series, you know, inserts, or the section inserts for organizing what you want to keep in your vanities. So anyway, thanks for watching my video on the IKEA Section Maximera Drawer and vanity install. If you really have any questions, I built my whole kitchen and a bunch of vanities, so I got a lot of experience with these. Have a great day.